Spring is here, and I know that we're so excited about that. Some of us have been enduring really intense heat lately, like those of us here in Southern California and in the Midwest. It's been incredibly hot. And in some other places, it's been very, very cold. And so whether you've been in the cold or the heat, summer is not supposed to be here yet, and winter is supposed to be over. And I know that we're all looking forward to the mild temperatures that spring can bring. So I thought it might be a cool idea today to get something planted up with some beautiful spring color in honor of spring, and then show you what we have growing in our garden that I literally have not touched, and kind of take you around to show you, and then talk about some of the plans that we have for the spring season and beyond. So stick around. I can't wait to show you what we're thinking about and what I'm going to plant today. So I have these containers that I bought at IKEA last summer that I had some beautiful annuals in, and then I also planted some pansies and violas in here in the fall. And let me tell you, that really intense heat, especially over the last week and a half that we've had here, just kind of zapped them out the rest of the way and pretty much burnt them to a crisp. So it's time for something a little more spring-like, and since hopefully we'll be heading into cooler weather, they'll last a little bit longer than these did. They were beautiful for a while, but that heat really zapped it. As you know, violas and pansies are really not built to endure summer heat. That's why a lot of them fade before we get to the summertime. We can have them hang on through the spring, but man, those temperatures really were intense and very unusual for March. So it's just an opportunity to come in here, clear this out, refresh the soil, because I always like to start new with fresh soil, especially when I'm planting new annuals, especially my spring annuals, and then give this whole container and the other container that matches it, that's a little bit smaller, a new fresh look. So let's get these out of here and get these things planted up. Okay, so it's so good to get out in the garden and to plant something new for the first time in a long time. I think that we all kind of feel super excited every spring because we get to start new and fresh and bring those new ideas into our yard, and that's what I could not wait to do, especially through that heat that we just had. So I'm going to start by, and I just cleared out these containers completely, by adding some land and sea compost at the bottom. And the reason why I'm adding some of this land and sea now is because when I plant my summer annuals, the soil will still be totally fine, because the Ranunculus, they're not ever blooming. They're just gonna bloom for a little while here early this spring. And the Nemesia, as soon as it starts heating up, it doesn't usually last well for us here in Southern California. There is one variety of proven winners, Nemesia, that lasts a long time, and that's the Aromance Pink. It did really well through the whole summer. It was fantastic. And I would highly recommend that one if you're in a hotter area or if you have a lot of heat. But other brands of Nemesia or other varieties, they just fizzle out. So this is intended to be a temporary spring container that can be easily changed out for my summer annuals, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm adding some land and sea in here. I'm also going to use some Proven Winners all-purpose potting soil so that I don't have to completely change out the soil when I plant my summer annuals in here, because these won't be well rooted at all. In fact, I could probably pull these ranunculus out completely, let them dry, and then plant them in the landscape, and they'll come back, because they're a bulb, they'll come back next year. The Nemesia, that'll fizzle out on its own. But let me talk about this Nemesia before I get these planted. This variety here is so pretty. It's called the Nemesia Essential Cherry Berry. And we were at our local Armstrong nursery, and I saw this variety, and my wife did too, and we thought it is really, really pretty. It kind of has a deep burgundy top with a white bottom and that beautiful yellow center, and it's super fragrant, kind of like the Aromance Pink that was so beautiful a couple seasons ago that we planted, the one I was talking about that will last through the heat. Has a really pleasant spring-like fragrance, and I thought, wow, that's really cheerful, and I think it's going to be really pretty with the contrasting black container here. Really nice. And to kind of play on the color that is the least most evident here, I mean, you can still see that it has yellow there, but to kind of pull that out even more, we chose to go with a beautiful yellow Ranunculus. And this is the Bloomingdale's 2 variety mix, and they have a variety of colors that you can pick. And I'm sure this is just the basic golden yellow, I believe. Super pretty. Look at that. It's just super cheerful. And like I was saying in that last video, yellow just seems to draw the eye in, and it's something that you can see from far away, and it just makes a big statement in your yard if you want to make a statement and draw the eye into what you have growing. So we're going to get these planted. I'm going to start with the Land and Sea, putting a little bit of that in here. And as always, I usually start with a little bit of biotone. This is the starter fertilizer, so it's going to be perfect because it's going to establish this container with plenty of the nutrients that our plants or our annuals need, and it will sustain it into the summer as well. If I just give it a little bit of this, probably 2 little handfuls, and then I mix that in, and then this container is ready to pot up. All right, so when they're together, you can see how nice they look, and I just think that this is the perfect addition to our yard that we needed, especially after a long season of not planting anything and really getting out here and starting our first containers with these beautiful Nemesia and the Ranunculus. Now, I have a method to my madness. You notice that I put 2 Ranunculus in the small one and 1 Nemesia over here, and in the larger pot I put 2 Nemesia and 1 Ranunculus, and that's mainly because of their growth habits. These Nemesia will spread out and they will kind of fill in and get a little bit tall. So I planted 2 over here because I have more space in this larger container. And in the smaller container, since the Ranunculus are more upright in growth, I put 2 of them because they won't take up as much room. That will allow for the Nemesia to fill in the space that's back here and not overcrowd. So I think it's perfect because it's the exact opposite in each one of these containers. 2 Ranunculus, 1 Nemesia, 1 Ranunculus, 2 Nemesia. And I know it's going to be really nice to see this bloom all season long, and hopefully we're past all the extreme heat. Although, you know, 80 degrees they can handle, but if we're up in the 90s, closer to 100, I'm going to have to really keep my eye on these and water them accordingly. All right, so let's take a look at what we have in the garden. At this point in the season, I've really not done really much of anything except for take out a couple weeds, but it's interesting to see what's still thriving and what's not, and I will show you that right now. Let's take a look. So it's exciting to think about spring and to see all these flowers up here just doing so super well. And we came through and Ben really helped me a lot, and he weeded some of the weeds out. We still have to come by and really finish it off, but it's amazing to me to see all these beautiful plants thriving this early in the season, especially since the ones on the walls were carryovers from the bridal shower in November. I have the really pretty black cherry right there. Right behind me is the plum vein that was new from last year. My boxwoods are fleshing out beautifully. I have my storm-burst verbena that has just gone absolutely crazy. And this plant is actually 3.5 years old. I trimmed it all the way back and it's coming out now on the top of the boxwoods. It's growing up inside it over the top. I'm gonna probably clean that up a little bit, but it's kind of cool to see it doing so well. I mean, it's amazing. And then right here, I have some tulips that are finishing off. I have some lantana that's coming back that I trimmed back completely all the way down to the sticks. My super bells did not make it when I trimmed it back, but that's okay. This is just gonna fill in this container, and that's one less thing that I'm gonna have to worry about planting in the summertime. So that's really cool. So coming over here, you can tell I have some really nice plants that have carried over from last season as well. I have this really pretty Gara along with more of the black cherry and some of my heliotrope, which I can tell is wanting to come back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to trim this probably all the way back and see if I can get this to carry over. One less thing to worry about for the springtime. I am noticing I have a little bit of that shiny, shimmery like slime that's on some of the leaves. So that tells me that I have a slug issue. So I'll put a little bit of slug bait down inside the pot. Even though it is non-toxic to animals, I don't like to spread it all over the place. So I'm going to try to put it in the center there where, of course, dogs or cats or anything like that can't get to it. Not that they would want to, but I just want to be safe. So I'm going to put some of that down in there, and that should take care of it almost immediately. But like, look at this. This is so pretty. These beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite varieties of Super Tunia mini vistas. This plum vein is beautiful. I would plant this again and again and again, and it is an absolute winner. It does super well. Obviously, through that heat, it's still thriving, which is great. I have had to give these a little bit of extra supplemental water through that 95-degree plus weather that we had, because these terracotta pots, they kind of, you know, they're pretty airy, they're porous, and so some of the moisture just kind of like expels out of it very easily. So I had to give them a little bit of extra moisture to make it through, but just with one extra watering a day, because they are on drip, they were able to survive. I just had to remember to come out here and do that. But otherwise, when it's normal weather in the 70s or even in the 80s, they're just fine. So love this plant for sure. But it's amazing to see that thing growing so well still. And then back here in my back bed, I have more of the black cherry right here. This is probably my favorite pot because of the way it's growing. You can still see the exposed terracotta there. I think that's really cool to see that character. And I can tell that there's a little bit of that slimy, glistening film on the top. So I know that there are some slugs that are coming up into, traveling up the drip irrigation line into the pot. So I want to take care of that as soon as possible, because slugs carry a lot of disease and I don't want them wiping out these beautiful plants before we even get to the summertime, because my idea is to make it through the summer with these and have them just absolutely bloom like they are right now all through the season. So that's really cool to see that. That is so pretty right there. And then in my back bed here, a couple of days ago, I came through and I cut back my roses finally. It was way past due for me to cut these back, but once I finally did, I felt so accomplished. And so now that these are cut back, I can kind of focus on what I want to plant in here. And these petunias are carryovers from last season. And the thing about my petunias is whenever I have them in the ground, I lose a lot of them because they just kind of get, I don't know, some type of, it's not really blight, but it feels like blight because they go completely bare and, you know, they fizzle out. But my ones that I have in my containers tend to hang on a little bit longer, as you can tell in here. So for the raised beds right here, I'm going to plant some sun-credible sunflowers. It's going to be an experiment. Maybe I won't have to worry about it at all. Maybe the onions that'll be planted around the sun-credibles will just be fine with those in there. But it's going to be fun to see. We've never done that before, planted flowers in with our vegetables, which is something that I think, you know, will look really nice. So anyways, some of the things that didn't make it, let me show you what those are. Okay, so we have two very different things happening in our container corner right here. We have the burnt to a crisp annuals that have seen definite better days, and then we have some beautiful things that look like they didn't even get phased from that recent heat that we had. So these containers I'm going to talk about in just a second, but let's start with this beautiful Royal Velvet Super Tunia that's on my workbench here in the back in a self-watering container. I mean, it is trailing about 2.5 feet. It looks so beautiful that self-watering container has been its favorite spot ever. I'm so glad I planted that in there. I originally planted a daybreak charm in the center to show some bloom contrast, but that annual since faded. But the Royal Velvet has been able to hang on, and I just recently, this last week, gave it a little bit of water-soluble fertilizer to really give it that boost of energy, especially coming out of that heat that we just had. But it is beautiful. This vintage coral Super Bells, I was getting ready to toss that the other day, and I noticed it had tons of blooms on there, so it's going to stay for now, and it looks really beautiful. My Sunflower Floribunda rose right here is coming back beautifully, and of course my boxwoods look beautiful in their containers. I don't know if you can see, but this tropical sunrise Super Bells looks really, really nice and decided to come back as well. And these containers right here I had planted in those IKEA plastic trash cans that cost $2 last year, and as you can tell, they have done very well in those containers. They drain beautifully. I have them hooked up to drip, and it's coming back in a way that I didn't think it was going to, so that is exciting to see. Now these right here in front of me, man, like I said, they have seen better days. I learned a lot from these, although I do love the pedestal look here, and I'll probably do this again. I'm going to change it up this year. But one of the things that I've learned about these containers, because they are in cocoa liners, is that when you plant multiple plants in your containers to create that variety or that, you know, combination look, they will dry out a lot in the summer months. So it's really good to keep an eye on them, because I did have a really difficult time keeping them moist and not getting them stressed when it was really, really hot. So that's a learning lesson that I'm going to think about next time. So this year, I think I'm going to put 2 large containers here, kind of like a couple years ago when I had those ridiculous coleus that were beautiful on either side of the fountain or water feature right here. And I don't know what combination I'm going to use this year, but I think it's kind of neat to change things up from year to year and, you know, have a garden that's constantly evolving. It keeps it interesting, it keeps it exciting. Plus, we get to try different varieties, and that's one of the things that I love to do, is try as many varieties as possible and then return to those varieties that do really well for us each year. But yeah, once I figure out what I'm going to plant, I'll be sure to share that with you guys as well. And I'm really excited because one of my orders, because I ordered from Creekside Nursery, shipped on Friday. It should be here on Tuesday. And I'm going to try really hard this year to not wait so long to get my annuals planted. I do give them a little bit of time depending on what they look like when they come, if they need to grow out just a little bit. Sometimes they arrive really, really small and they need just a little bit extra time in their containers. But last year I let some of them go way too long. And by the time I got them planted, they didn't fully reach their full potential once I got them either in the ground or their containers. So I'm going to try to get on that a little bit more this year. And it's hard though, because we get really busy. Even though we get really excited to plant things in our yard and get out here and do yard work and garden and create containers and beautiful arrangements, sometimes it's not easy to get out in the yard because other things come up. And so I'm going to be really mindful about that this year, and I'll be sure to share them with you as soon as they come. I can't wait to share what that order is going to look like. Anyhow, until then, and until the next video, I hope you enjoyed today's video of planting up our first spring container of Nemesia and Ranunculus, and looking at what's still doing beautiful in the yard and what quite didn't make it so well, which is understandable. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for being with me today, and I'll see you again very soon in the next video. Bye now.